Okay, so Scoop is already installed on our cluster, and we want to now perform schema evolution with Avro. And this exercise is having multiple technologies, that is Scoop will be there, Avro will be there, Hive will be there. So we'll be making use of all these technologies, and then we will be looking into the practical problems that businesses face with regards to schema. So how do we handle this problem? We are going to look into that. So before we go anywhere, I will just quickly log into the MySQL DB, and the username is root and password is password. And in this you will see there are a lot of databases, and there is one database retail_db, so I'll just say use retail_db, and under that you will see the tables. So we have many tables, and we can see describe customers. So this is one table, so we can describe this table, and here you can see this is the structure of the table. So the schema and everything is visible here. What we want to do is, like, we want to work with this data, and when we are importing this data into HDFS, then we will be importing in the form of Avro format. And once we get the data in Avro format, we will get the schema from the Avro format, and after that we will add a new field into the Avro format, which is preferred language. And our customers now, they want the preference for the language because they are from non-English speaking countries, and they want additional field preferred language. So the legacy customers, they don't want anything, like by default the language is, let's say, English, but the new customers who are basically coming, they are like looking for a different language than English. So let's see how can we actually implement this thing. So let's exit out of it, and let's bring this data into HDFS. So before I bring this data, I just want to quickly show you like how many rows are there, so that you know like how much data we are working with. So I will just do select count star also here. So let's do select count star from customers, and we'll see we have no database selected. Let's select the database first, use retail_db, and then I'll just select this, use. Okay, so we have 12,435 records, so this is good information to know. And then I will bring this data using scoop command. So let's run a scoop command, and these instructions are given in the doc provided with this video, so you can get that in the same section. So I'm just using that command, and in this command you can see we are having as Avro data file. So we are importing data. So we are importing data, and this data we are importing into HDFS, and this goes into my home directory and data customers directory. So it will be going under my home directory data. Under my home directory there is a data directory, and under that there will be customers directory, where we will get all the data in Avro format. So right now the scoop job is running. It is creating mapper process, like there will be 4 mappers running in parallel retrieving data. And right now you can see this MapReduce job started, 4 mappers. There is no reducer phase. When mappers are finished, then also reducer will not start. You can see mappers are 100% complete, reducer is 0%. So we are able to retrieve 12,435 records without any problem. So this is fine. Now we just need to see where is our schema. So if I do ls, so you can see we have customers.avsc, and this file is created just now because I did scoop import. Because of that, this file has been created. So now if I just start making use of this file, I will basically be putting this file into HDFS. So let's do one thing. We will start putting this file into HDFS. So we'll first make a directory. I'm making a directory under my home directory, but ideally schema should be kept in a separate directory, but right now that's not the point. So I'm just keeping it in my schema directory under my home directory, and I will be putting this file. I'm putting file user lib, and then we have, this is under the same directory, so I'll just say customers.avsc, and it's going in the schema folder. So I'm putting in HDFS. Okay, so my file is now in HDFS. I also want to bring one more file, which is jar, Avro Tools jar. So if you Google, you will find there is Avro Tools jar. This is Avro Tools jar. You can get this jar from internet, from Maven repository. So this Avro Tools jar is very helpful in actually reading data, or you can say for reading schema or extracting schema. So I will be making use of such jar here. So I'll be doing wget, and I will be using a command to get this jar from this Maven repository. So I am able to get this jar, and if I do ls, I can see we got avrotools.jar, which is very helpful in knowing what is inside the Avro files. So if you want, I can just quickly show you like how does it work. So for doing it, you can first do hdfs dfs minus, let's do hdfs dfs minus get, and we will get the customer data from the hdfs. So I'll be using this because I want to get customer data, and that was the name of the table. So I will say get. So this will bring this directory. So there is no directory like this. So let me see if it is customers. So the name is customers. So yes, so we got this here in the local file system. We just got customers directory earlier. When I was doing customers directory was not there, but I just retrieved customers directory from HDFS. Now if I do customers, here I got a lot of Avro files. Now these are the Avro files, and I need to basically retrieve the schema using the jar. So I will be using a command called java -jar, and I will be making use of the jar file name, and this jar file name is under my home directory, this case same directory. So I'm using this jar name, and then I am saying get schema. So I can get the schema, and I can just use the file name. This is customers and /part. So I'm just picking one Avro file which was created in HDFS. So this Avro file is actually retrieved from the HDFS only. Just now I did get command, through that I got this Avro file. I'm picking one Avro file, and I will be moving this into a schema file. So I can create a schema from here, but we already have schema file in the same directory. So I don't want to create another file here, but rather I want to show you how the JSON or how the data in this file looks like. So let's see the data in this file. So you can see this is the data in this file, 12,435 records. So I use this command to JSON to retrieve the data. Yeah. So now we will be going to Hive, and we will be creating a table, and I will be simply using Hive command, and I will be going into Hive shell, and there I will be creating a table. So ideally we should be using beeline, but it's single node cluster, so it does not matter. Our intention is to not deal with the CLI related stuff, but actually create Hive table. So we will be creating Hive table. So I will be doing it through a command, and this command is like creating customers table, customer version 1 table. So this is customer version 1 table, and here we are saying stored as Avro. And before I execute this command, I want to edit it, and I want to change this username to the DataCouch 21. So let me see if I can do it. I cannot do it. So I have only one option. Now let me make some error here. I'll just type something here, and then I will run it. Okay, it gives me error. That's what I wanted to do. Now I want to edit this. So let me open an editor here. Okay, so I want to change this So I will paste it here. I will replace this username with DataCouch 21. That is a user ID on which I am working. So we have edited this table customer V1 and we have specified the username correctly here, and the path is also fine. So I'll just copy this and paste it in the Hive shell. So let me copy and let's paste it in the Hive shell. So in the Hive shell, now it should create the table. Okay, the table has been created. We can just do select count star from this table to know if everything is fine. So we are expecting 12,435 records. So I'll just run this command, and these are the same number of records that we just saw in RDBMS. So this is the same command like select count star from the table. So let's run it in Hive. It will start running the job and then it will show us the results. Okay, so it is having the same number of records. So that means we are good from this perspective that we got the records in Hive. Hadoop got the data from RDBMS. So this is not an issue now. So the next step is basically to work with the schema files that we have. And I will just come out of it and I will go to the schema file. So I can just do nano. And I can do customers.avsc file. So let's work on that .avsc file, and within that customer.avsc file I'll just go down and I will paste another field which is preferred language. So I'm editing this file, I'm making another version of the schema, and I will be copying and pasting this particular thing. So let's do this. I have this particular field. So I can just copy from the instructions and here I can just paste it. So I have this, I'll just paste it here, Control V. Okay, so this is pasted now. The preferred language field is pasted now, and this is an additional field that I'm adding here. And then I will do Control X and then I'll say save it. Yes. Okay, so this is saved. I will just change the name, this customer.avsc to another name, customers. This is version v2. So I'm just writing this is v2 avsc. So customer v2.avsc. I just renamed this. So this is all set. This is renamed. Now the next part is to move this data into HDFS. So we will do HDFS DFS minus put. I will move this schema into schema folder in HDFS. So this is in HDFS now. Okay, so this is moved now, and we have this schema under this schema folder, and I want to basically now create Hive table again. So I will be just doing it like this. So I will be going inside Hive and we will be working with this schema. So in the meantime, I will basically be preparing the second command. So this second command is customer v2. This is fine, like the name of the file is customer v2, so I'm just fixing that also. I'll just copy it and we will create another table there. So this is version 2, and this version 2 table is also created, and this is fine, like we got another table with the new version of the schema. We can now insert some data. Instead of typing it, I will basically putting data from the instructions. So I'll just copy from the instructions and I will paste it here. So I'm inserting a new record, and this record is going in customer v2 table, and this is ES, this is preferred language, which is Spanish. So I'm adding another record for Spanish. So when I do that, it will be inserted into the table. So in case you want to see whether data has gone into the table or not, so what I will do SSH again, and I will keep another terminal open so that I can show this thing in parallel. So I can just do HDFS DFS minus ls there. So this is fine, like I got a new record. So let's do DFS minus ls and we will see what is inside the data, this customers folder. So this customers folder, we have now 5 files, and if you see, like we just got another file, this particular file, through this operation. So this file contains this record. So in case you want to validate it, you can do that by using this java minus jar command, and you can use 𝐤𝐤tools.jar, and then you can say to.json, and we can specify by having that file. So I can just first get the file. Let's get the file first. And then later on we will use this command. So I am just firing this will give an error, but let's bring the file first. hdfs dfs -get. I could have given the path so another option is, like, instead of getting the file, I can also do Hadoop jar. So let's use that command. So I will use this Hadoop jar command, and I will paste it here, and I will get the schema from this file, and I can even see what is there in the data. So the file name is, let's see, the file name is customers. It's 6 times 0 and underscore 0. So it is 6 times 0 underscore 0. So it is not able to find this file. Let's see if we have this. The Hadoop jar is fine, get schema, and this is data, and this is okay. The file does not exist, so maybe I am using it is having underscore 0, so it's customers. So let me fix this S here. Okay, so this is fine. I can now retrieve schema, and I can even retrieve this is a new schema. Basically the file has been written with the new schema, and I can see the data. This is a newly created file. The new customer has been added, and the new customer is having the data which is like which we just inserted. So this is the customer data. This is the same customer David. We just inserted data for this customer, and this is the language, and this is something very interesting happening here. So let's do select here, and we will do customers version 2, and this is a table name. We will do select count star, and we should see 12,436 records here when we run this file. So yes, we are able to get 12,436 records. 12,435 records are of previous schema, but the last record is with the new schema. So our new table is able to read the old data as well as new data. So that's why it is called backward compatible. That's the beauty of using Avro format. So this is like schema evolution. We are able to evolve schema with this. So in this exercise, basically we got data from customer table in retail_db, which was there in RDBMS. And we stored this data in HDFS in Avro format. We retrieved schema, which was basically generated through Scoop job itself. Otherwise, we could have used 𝐤𝐤tools jar to get the schema. So we are able to get the schema. We are able to edit the schema, and we are able to add a new field, which is called preferred language. And using that new schema, we created a table customer V2. Using old schema, we created customer V1. So using customer V2, we are inserting new data with preferred language details, because new customers, they need preferred language. Old customers, they don't need preferred language. So new customer, we are putting preferred language Spanish. And then when we are selecting from the table, it is able to retrieve data of the legacy customers as well as the new customers. So that's the beauty of using schema evolution.